So the media environment has changed a lot over the past couple decades, but FCC rules haven't. And so broadcast TV station owners for years have been stuck with this limit on how big they can grow. The FCC rule said no company can reach more than 39% of US households. And what the FCC did yesterday is scrap that rule and say, look, we're not going to have this numeric limit on companies anymore. So this presents a really big opportunity for companies like Nexstar, Sinclair that own the TV stations across the US to grow larger because they're not, hamstrung by this long existing FCC rule anymore.
What does this mean for media consolidation? I feel like there's always this statistic we hear that there are these six conglomerates that now control 90% of US media. Is that likely to get more extreme? I mean, that doesn't seem like necessarily a great thing for voters.
Right. So this, when you listen to FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, he said this is really about empowering local TV stations so they can compete with those big national media companies. Right now, those stations really have very little leverage when they negotiate with ABC, CBS, NBC, and with cable companies when they have to get their media distributed. So in Brendan Carr's view, this is about sort of empowering a new set of entities in that media ecosystem, the owners of these local stations that right now are, they're limited, or previously were limited by this FCC rule. They could only get so big, so they had no leverage. This gives them more of a voice, in Brendan Carr's view, against those national media companies. So maybe it leads to a little more competition in that space.
So this is deregulation essentially, and the broadcast industry has been waiting for it for a long time. Which companies are going to jump on this and make a move?
So Nexstar has already jumped on it with its acquisition of Tegna, but there was sort of a legal cloud around whether they could do that. By acquiring Tegna, they went way beyond the 39% U.S. ownership cap, and the FCC at the staff level said, we'll waive that requirement. Don't worry about it. That was sort of legally questionable. This is the right way to do it, to do it through a rulemaking to actually change the rule. So it's an opportunity for Nexstar to get past legal hurdles on its Tegna acquisition. A company like Sinclair could also look at this. It featured prominently in the company's earnings call a couple days ago. There could be opportunities to grow much larger, go way beyond the 39%. But one big and important footnote, there's going to be a legal challenge to all of this. That's coming next. It's not totally clear the FCC can do what it did, or whether only Congress can do it. That's going to be the fight that plays out next.
What is the legal challenge exactly?
So in 2004, Congress told the FCC, let's set that limit, that ownership limit, at 39%. And it said, FCC, change your rule to make it 39%. The question is, when Congress did that in 2004, did it mean that the FCC can't update that rule later? Is it only Congress's call? And there are strong arguments on both sides that the FCC says, look, we still have our power to modify our rules. Congress didn't take that away. The other side said, no, Congress was pretty clear. We want 39, and it said that 5 times in its statute, 39%. So it's not clear that the FCC can use its general modification power. That's going to have to play out in appeals court and in the Supreme Court. Did Congress give the FCC its general discretion to update its rules, or was this a call that Congress reserved for itself?
All right, Matt, one final question before we let you go. From where you sit, Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers Discovery, is anything going to happen in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, so lots of moving pieces on that on the antitrust side, and Jen Rhee is really our go-to on all of those questions. So, really interesting questions there as state antitrust enforcers have stepped up when the federal regulators have taken more of this deregulatory approach.